Hey everybody, it's Mr. Justin here, and this is to the ninth graders. I hope y'all doing well. Hope you had a great Wednesday, and I hope you have a great week. This is the second part of our lecture, or the second meeting that we're going to have online, and we're going to be in pages 100 through 108. 100 through 108. All right, and we're going to talk a little bit more about fitness, a little bit more about exercise, and those kind of things. But before we do that, I'm going to have time of prayer with y'all, and then we'll get into it, all right? Oh, Lord, I thank you for these young men, young women. I thank you for their lives, Lord. I thank you for their example, their godliness, their maturity. I pray that you continue to grow them and help them through their obstacles, through temptations, through distractions, and Lord, that you would help them to grow in their faith, to love your word, to love you, to love each other, to, to love their parents, to love their family. And Lord, I thank you for the love they showed to me, and I love them, Lord, and I pray your blessings on them. I pray you bind the evil one from them who wants to steal, kill, and destroy, that we'd walk in your truth, in your way. And Lord, you give us hope. You give us hope that goes beyond the physical fitness that we can have, beyond anything this world can give. Lord, you give us that inner peace, that fulfillment that only comes from your hands. So, Lord, I thank you for that, and I pray that you bless this day for your glory, for your honor. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. We're going to be in pages 100 through 108, and it starts off saying about, I think there's 7 points here about a fitness test. Number one is self-image. The first part of the fitness test is to look in the mirror and to ask yourself, am I content with my life? And it's more than just your self-image as far as the way you look, but asking yourself mentally, where am I mentally? And some of us might be in a depressed state. I don't know the case, but being satisfied and examining yourself. Am I satisfied with the way I look? Am I satisfied with where I am in my life? Because this is not just something. This is actually the first point in the book, but this is not something that's just on the surface, like this passing away kind of physical part element of it. I think it's a little bit deeper as far as understanding how you can change the way your body looks by exercising. I think a lot of people do exercising to look better. I mean, it's just the truth. And people that don't do it, they may think it's vain to exercise and think that they're trying to look better to exercise, and they might have like a negative view of people that exercise. That could be the case. Or people that don't work out maybe just don't enjoy it and they don't want to do it. But it's important to ask the question. There's a few questions here that the book asks. Are you overweight? Do you have toned muscles, good posture, a light countenance? Do you look depressed? And it is saying that an exercise program can help with all these things, and it's true. It's true. Like with CrossFit, for instance, when I do deadlifts and squats, I'm learning how to have the proper technique. All right, to sit up, to have my back up, and not to be slunched over when I do the technique. So in everyday life, hopefully I'll take that to everyday life. So when I pick up something heavy, I won't hurt my back. When I get older, I won't hurt my back because I learned the proper technique, proper posture, those kind of things. So exercise is more than just the way you look, but it has a lot to do with it too. But it's it can also help with mentally, as we'll see. Mentally, exercise can help you if you're depressed, if you're anxious. Exercise can be a great way to relieve that stress and to encourage you and to help you with that. But ultimately, God is the one that's going to help us and guide us, and that's just a fact. Physical exercise is of some value, but godliness is of eternal value. And so pursuing God is definitely most important. Number two is measure how much fat you have. So there's a way you can do that. This little like I forgot what they call them. I think it's right here. Calipers. Calipers is like these little things that grab the fat on your body. You can do that as a way to measure how much fat you have, and so that's the second part, is how much fat do you have, because it's about your as we learned last week, not last week, sorry, as we learned Monday, the difference in ratio between fat and muscle. And number 3 is body composition, bone size and frame size. You can take your finger and see. It's kind of hard for me to do this, but take your finger and put your, like, I can't really show you, but you're gonna take this and this thumb and index finger and try to go around your wrist. And if you can't go around it, it shows that you have a bigger frame because you have bigger bones, and your bones are going to match your frame. So if I have small bones and my hands can go around them, then I'm going to have a small frame, and medium frame. Medium bones, medium frame. So that's another one, is body composition. Then number 4, flexibility. How much can you bend? Can you touch your legs without bending them? You know, when you bend over, can you touch your toes? Can you touch the ground without bending your knees? The flexibility, it's important. Number 5, cardiovascular test. There's a step test that they have. Excuse me. I think you do 24 steps on a bench, and you do that for 3 minutes, and then you wait 30. I think you count how fast your heart rate is right after you finish, and then you wait 30 seconds and count your heart rate again, and see how much your heart rate has recovered. Because if you're fit, your heart rate will go down quicker and recover quicker than for someone who's not fit. Someone that's not fit, it's going to take their heart rate. It's going to take you longer for your heart rate to go down. All right. Number 6, muscular strength. Max lifts. You need a spotter. All right. If you're doing this, you need a spotter. Don't do a bunch of weight on your own, because that's how you can hurt yourself. And I've been guilty of doing this. I've done this before. Sit-ups in 1 minute is another way you can test your strength. How many sit-ups can you do in a minute? All right, muscular strength is the 6th one. How strong are you? Number 7, check resting heart rate in the morning. You can do this by before you get out of the bed. Just take your index finger and put it on your wrist here, and count your, for the first 10 seconds, count how many beats you get, and then multiply that by 6. I think that's how they do it. And then you'll see what your heart rate is, and then continue to calculate that over weeks and weeks, and see if your heart rate's getting stronger, or if your heart's getting stronger by having less beats per minute. All right, that's number 7. Okay, you also can get tested with a physical doctor. You can have a physical from a doctor, and a doctor can put you on a treadmill. You can have an EKG, and it shows how well your heart's working, and from the pulse. Well, what am I trying to? I forgot, some kind of electrical shock that your heart has, and how well it works, and the blood pressure, and if you got a history of heart disease. All right, if you're conscious of that, you can go to the doctor, have a physical. I did it like 2 years ago. I had my blood taken and everything, and so they're able to see if there's anything wrong with me. All right, if you want to do that, you can go that route. All right, now we're going to talk about skill versus health. Skill versus health. You know, a lot of sports involve skills, like certain skills. Like, for instance, tennis is hand-eye coordination. Basketball is agility, movement, quickness. It also is hand-eye coordination because of catching the ball, passing the ball, shooting the ball, jumping, those kind of things. So you have certain skills that make up a sport. Now, your overall health is important as far as being in shape, because there's people that play football that aren't in shape. You got the big offensive linemen that are very, very overweight and have a lot of fat. They can't run long distance at all. And if they were in shape, if they were fit, then they would probably not be in that position, because you have to be heavy. You have to weigh a lot so you don't get pushed around. But it's understanding the skills versus health. Understanding the skills versus health. There's certain sports that you can play that are lifetime sports, and those sports are like golf, tennis, pickleball, sports that involve not moving much. Swimming is a great sport, or it is a sport, but great hobby to have if you're older, because there's not a lot of stress on your joints, and it's great for your joints. It's great for your overall body. In fact, if I had a pool, I would use it. Or if I lived closer to a place that had a pool that you could work out in or swim in, then I would use it. But that's one of the greatest things you could do too. But understanding really with the skills versus health is knowing that there's certain skills you have to have in the sport, but your overall health, you can be unfit and play a sport. All right, if you're focused just on those skills, um, but it's important to be healthy, overall. Um, Now we're going to look at aerobic versus anaerobic. Aerobic versus anaerobic. Aerobic means oxygen. So when you think about aerobic, I want you to think about oxygen and the fact that when you do aerobics, you end up doing something that goes beyond what you do normally. So your body requires more oxygen, and so you have to breathe harder. Your heart's beating faster. That's aerobic exercise. Okay. Aerobic helps your lungs, your heart, your mind. It helps you lose weight. It has known to expand your life. All right, life expectancy expands when you do aerobic workouts. Anaerobic is a little different because anaerobic requires just short bursts of energy and is without the use of oxygen, and so it's such as sprinting or weight training. I mean, you still use oxygen, of course, but it's not to that extreme of pushing your body and your heart as much as you would with an aerobic exercise. Now, the benefit of aerobics is muscular strength, and I think you also benefit your mind too. I know people that lift weights because it feels good and it relieves stress for them, and it does the same for me. So I think you have the mind concept too, but the aerobic has more benefits to it than the anaerobic. All right. Um, Now we're going to go to three different words: overload, progression, and specificity. Specificity. I don't know how to say that. Specificity. Specificity. There you go. Overload. Do more than normal to improve your performance. No pain, no gain is not safe. No pain, no gain. No pain, no gain is not a safe saying because they're saying if you have pain, your body's telling you something's wrong. So you need to stop or you're going to hurt it even worse. And that perspective is very true. Because if you're injured, you don't want to continue playing if you're not capable of doing the best you can, and you're going to hurt the team, you're going to hurt yourself, and your future. All right, so if you have a lot of pain or you have pain, you need to stop. But I'm not saying it's a cop out. Matthew Fraser, he's like the 6-time champion for CrossFit or 7-time champion. He pushes through the pain. He says, and pain meaning not feeling comfortable because you're pushing your body to another level, and you're having to breathe harder, and it's difficult, and your muscles are fatigued. He says he thinks about the future when he wins, and this pain is temporary, and so you can have that perspective too of pushing through when it's hard and difficult. But if you're injured or if you're hurt, that's a different story. You need to stop. All right. Progression is the second one. Sorry. Starting with little, then gradually adding. Progression is something you can do to gain muscle strength. I do something called 5-3-1, and it's basically a progression. It's a progression of increasing the weight, really trying to use a certain weight and doing it more times. And then if you get to a point where you're doing that weight a lot more, you progress and you put more weight on. It's a progression of weight. That's how you get stronger. And cross training is the last one. Specificity is the last one. Develop certain parts of the body. So when you want to specifically develop the legs, what are you going to do? You're going to do squats. You're going to do air squats. You're going to do weighted barbell squats. You're going to do thrusters. You're going to do wall squats. You're going to do lunges. You're going to do what incorporates the legs, right? And calf raises, leg extensions, leg curls, etc., etc. And likewise, if you're going to work out the chest, you're going to do bench press. You're going to work out the arms. You're going to do curls. You're going to work out the back and the chest, the upper chest, and the shoulders. Pull up. So You have all kind of different ways you can work out specific muscles, and that's pretty cool. I like that. The next one is cross training. Cross training is really a variety of exercises. You get out of your routine. You don't have a certain routine. You do different exercises every other day or every day, and it just spices it up. You know what I mean? So cross training is good. CrossFit a lot of times is like that, but there's other ways to do cross training too besides CrossFit. But anyway, a healthy diet and exercise program. Let me tell y'all something. If you want to become healthy, what you eat is important. All right. In fact, a lot of y'all, you'd be in a lot better shape if you ate better. I mean, just being frank, being real with you, you'd see more results if you ate better. And I know it's your choice, it's your decision. You know, I'm not going to take points off of your grade if you drink sodas or if you eat McDonald's all the time or fried stuff. I'm not going to take it off your grade. I'm just telling you that if you want to gain weight in the right way, you got to eat healthy. You got to gain muscle. It's not about gaining fat. I know somebody that they've talked about how much they've gained weight, but they've gained it not eating right. And because they haven't ate right, they probably have more fat on them than muscle than they think they do. But it is true, if you gain more muscle, that you'll gain weight. But you don't want to lose weight too because you don't eat anything. I mean, that's not healthy either, to lose weight without eating anything and to just be skin and bones. You know, you got to have muscle too. So it's important both ways to eat healthy, to have the right amount of protein, the right amount of carbohydrates, the right amount of fats, eating fruits and vegetables, lean meats, sticking with drinking water, which God gave us and is God made, and not all these sugary drinks and stuff. And I like this saying here that's in the book. It says, you can lose inches instead of pounds. You can lose inches instead of pounds. And that means basically you might gain weight because you get muscle, but you're going to lose inches around your stomach. You're gonna lose inches in places where fat was, and you're going to be lean. I think a lot of us would like that, wouldn't we? We would want less fat around our stomach. We'd want less fat different places and have more muscle and become leaner. And I'm telling y'all right now, that's possible. It's possible. It's possible if you just lay off the sodas, lay off fried stuff, foods that are preserved, that have all this sodium and sugar in it, and eat natural stuff, eat healthy stuff. You know what I mean? I know y'all can't control everything you eat because your parents cook for you and those kind of things, so they have to have a healthy perspective too. But anyway, I digress. All right, now what we're going to do is talk about excuses. Excuses for not working out. All right? And just to go back real quick, with the inches, like losing inches and gaining pounds, you can measure your arms, your chest, your waist, your hips, and your thigh, and something else that I don't know what that word means. I can't say it. But you can measure those to see how much you've gotten bigger as far as muscle wise, and how much you've gotten less as far as waist wise. You know what I mean? It's important to have those set so you can see your progress. All right, here's some excuses. Hunger depressant. I don't really get that exactly, but basically the book's saying that if you exercise, sometimes you're not necessarily going to become hungry all the time, but it's going to increase your basal metabolic rate, which means you'll burn more calories quicker, which means you'll become hungry. And you'll become hungry because you're burning more calories, so you need that food. So I'm telling y'all, you need to fuel up. You need to eat. Eat healthy. And eat often. All right. Number 2, weight training will not cause you to have bulkier muscles. Some people some people don't lift weights because they don't want to become bulky, they say. But if for you ladies that want to be lean, you can do like weightlifting. Your weightlifting sets can be a lot of reps with light weight, and that'll make you leaner. If you want, for those guys usually become more bulky because they have testosterone in them. If you want to become more bulky, you do less reps with more weight, and you put more weight on and get stronger. All right. Number 3, you have to be smart about where you are. Swallow your pride. And number 3 is you can't just do whatever you want with exercises. You have to know where you are physically, and you have to, if you have a injury or you have something that's holding you back physically, then don't do something that's going to hurt you or jeopardize your overall health. All right. So you got to be smart with your exercise. Number 4, you do not have to be athletic to play a sport. It's a personal plan. Some people say I'm not athletic or I don't play a sport, so I can't exercise. But that's just not the truth. The truth is every person can exercise. You might have to modify, you might have to scale some certain things, but it's okay. And that leads us to number 5. Don't compare yourselves to others. I think sometimes you compare yourself to others and it makes you feel down because you're not as strong as they are or you can't do what they can do. And also sometimes it can make you have pride because you think you compare yourself to somebody else that's not as strong as you are and you think you're better than they are. Both of them actually is pride because they're both self-centered. They're both focused on what you can do and you get upset about what you can do and it's about you when you compare yourself to other people. So let's not do that. Let's look at our relationship with God and know that He made us in His image and that He wants us to do the best we can with what He gave us. All right. It's good for you. And number 6, exercise takes too much time. That's not true. And let me tell you, that's not true because for 30 minutes a day, I did P90X3 with my brother, and I saw my brother lose a lot of weight, and he became really healthy, and we were just doing 30 minutes a day together. That's all we did, 30 minutes a day. He plays soccer too, but that was his workout, 30 minutes a day. So I'm telling you, you don't have to work out in the gym 2 hours a day to see results. You can do it 30 minutes a day and eat healthy. You'll see results. So anyway, y'all let me know if you have any questions. These notes are due by Friday at midnight. God bless. Have a great week. Peace out. Take care. Bye.